Hi, this is IL2 Stamovic, and we are going to do a taxi, takeoff, and landing in the BF 109 F2. We'll hit start. Takeoff speed is about 145, and landing speed is about 135 kilometers an hour. We'll hit P on the keyboard to unpause the game. We'll push delete on the keyboard to look out the left. Turn around, check that the rear rudder is working, and push 5 on the unlock pad to return to the original view. To start the engine, push E. Now the engine is starting, we'll jump to the external view with F2. What a beautiful plane. Now I'm just learning this game, so this is not a guide, but if you find my comments helpful, then great. We need to manage 4 things. We need to manage the rear rudder, the throttle, and the left and right toe brakes. There is also a rear tail wheel. We need to check that it's locked. So we'll push the tail wheel release. We can see on the middle right it says tail wheel release. We'll push it again and it will say locking tail wheel. As the runway is just over there, we only need to taxi forwards. We can move around with the tail wheel locked. If you need to make a very sharp turn at very low speeds, you can release the tail wheel and you can make very sharp turns. We'll close the canopy. You can taxi in the canopy view, but as I'm just learning, I'm finding it helpful to do it from the external view. Okay, so we're going to bring the throttle up to around 45 and then bring it back to 25 with just a little bit of right rudder. So bringing the throttle up to get the plane moving and then bringing it back down to 25. Just applying that right rudder to keep it straight. Now we need to turn left. So to turn left, I'm going to use the left rudder and then the toe wheel brake on the left. You can see we're turning. If you find the plane's going too slow, give the plane more throttle. We've made the turn and we'll now straighten her up with a little bit of right throttle and a little bit of right rudder. Okay, so now we're straight. I'm just going to bring the throttle back to idle and I'm going to apply the wheel brakes. We'll do a final check. Make sure everything is working. And also make sure that your tail wheel is in the locked position for takeoff. Now to take off, don't go immediately to 100% throttle, just gradually bring it up. In fact, you can take off in this plane at only 85% throttle. At 150 kilometers an hour, we'll lift off by pulling back gently on the stick. But before we do, we've got to keep applying a gentle right rudder to counteract. So we're going to bring the throttle up just gently to about 32 until the plane just starts to move. And then we'll go the rest of the way. We're almost ready to lift off. We're going to pull back gently on the stick and immediately bring up the gears. You can see the gears are now up. There's the runway. So we'll gently spin her around. We don't want to go too fast as we're going to land quite quickly. This plane is very responsive. You can push F3 on a keyboard to do a bit of an external view as the plane flies by. Okay, we're going to bring her around. Now we need to put the flaps to full, put the gear out, and reduce the throttle to land. So we're going to bring the throttle back for the moment till about 50. We're going to put the flaps out just a little bit, for around about 25. You can see we're lined up pretty well with the runway. Flaps are at 32 in this case. I've put the gear out and I'm reducing the throttle. I'm going to let the flaps go the rest of the way and we'll jump to the external view. Now to land, we want a speed of around about 135. So we'll line up with the runway. If you find the plane's too slow, just give it a little bit more throttle. We're doing about 210. But we've got a little way to go until the runway, so we're going to give it just a little bit more throttle, and then we're going to ease it off. We're now on the ground. Just use the toe brakes to gently go left and right. You can then turn the engine off once the plane has come to a standstill. Reduce the throttle to idle. We're safely on the ground. Turn your engine off and opening the canopy. I hope you may have found this video helpful. This is an awesome game if you don't have it. Definitely recommend checking it out. IL-2 Stamovik. Thank you for watching.